happened?
Why can't we hear anything?
I don't know.
Again?
Hi everyone, it's episode 28 of the 2-Minute Terminator. I'm your host Ethan McKinley, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time.
Muzzle tough!
That's Ellie Fitzgerald, the
Jewish presenter.
the Jewish presenter. I couldn't do a podcast any cheaper if you were my own mother. We are going from
I'd
minutes...
see myself as more of a Fagin kind of Jew.
Yeah?
Small with like a hunched back. Hanging around with young boys.
That's the Alec Guinness stereotype though, isn't it?
Yes! He does the best Fagin, I think.
Today's bumper music is from the 1984 kids action space movie The Last Starfighter, starring Lance Guest and directed by Nick Castle. Nick Castle, of course, was a UCE alumni and friend of John Carpenter. He played Michael Myers in the first film.
Oh, that dude!
Yeah, he's also in the Coupe de Villes. He played keyboards in the Coupe de Villes when they did the Big Trouble in Little China song.
Fat synth.
Fat synth, yeah.
Nice.
Nick Castle.
He's the guy with the really curly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks a bit Jewy.
Yeah, he does!
Yeah. We
One of
like him.
One of my fellow Jewish breadbrins.
But yeah, good director, good musician, great all-round dude.
Good man.
So yeah, we're actually going from minutes 54 to 56, the 2 minutes bridging that gap.
Ethan's age.
It almost starts with an actor who's returning to the franchise,
Dude,
Earl Bowen.
These still smell like Chanel Blue. Why don't you wear that ever?
Yeah, I sprayed the mics with Chanel Blue.
Why do you wear that cheap shit from fucking Primark?
Because the Chanel Blue is like £100 English for a bottle.
Yeah, but you're like one of those people that buys a toy and never gets it out of the box because it'll deplete in value.
I have done that in my time as well. I absolutely have done that. In fact, I've got a garage
Actually, that's why.
full of Star Wars figures still in the box, mint in star cases to protect the card. Unfortunately,
I
it
was gonna
rained
say,
in
it
the
looks
garage
like the dude at the end of RoboCop
and
that's
ruined
melted.
everything. Yeah, they look exactly like. Is it Emil from RoboCop? Don't touch me, man. That's exactly what they said when I opened. My heart broke.
Which time? The Sophie time or the Star Wars
really
time?
broke when I was all the thousands of pounds and dollars worth of
It's the
Star Wars
magazines
figures.
that you can see of all like rotted and mouldy.
And that was the first edition of every magazine and Star Wars periodical.
trickling down
Star
almost like
Wars
the tears
Insider
of the child
magazine.
that lives inside Ethan.
Bantha Tracks, letters, everything. Starburst magazine from the early 80s. The movie specials, Indiana Jones movie specials. The magazine pullouts, the press kits, the art cards from the cinema lobbies,
The readers' wives.
all ruined. And on that bombshell, we begin our clip.
No, we don't. Hit the music.
I wanted to say it, and you beat me to it.
You can say it now.
Hit the music!
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And we're back.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
That's
if
like
you
the
have
Quentin Crisp of pigs.
if you have just joined us, we're going. It's episode 28. We're going from minutes 54 to 56. The 2 minutes bridging that gap, and it starts with the police car speeding away after having his heart punched out.
Is this really the right music?
Yeah, sci-fi.
Yeah, but it just sounds quite like ethereal for.
Well,
Terminator.
I try and pick the bumper music from either 70s, 80s, or 90s action sci-fi,
So
or.
can't please when we next do one, can we please just use Jean-Jacques Pierre because it's amazing.
Who's Jean-Jacques Pierre?
This
is Craig Stefan, by the way, who did The Last Starfighter.
Stefan.
Strangely-
Jean-Jacques Pierre. I think he started around the maybe late 60s, early 70s, and it's all that weird kind of like the Jensens music or like. I don't know. You would. I know you'd love it. I know you would.
Is it anything close to the Armand Flint and
Yes,
In Like Flint soundtrack?
That's why I liked it so much. I was like, it kind of reminds me.
But was Flint better than that?
Probably, actually. That soundtrack's amazing.
Well, Ellie's answered her own question. We won't be putting on the show. So anyway, in this clip, Ellie, we've got a returning cast member and someone who connects
has
us.
thrown acid in his face, so all his features are slowly just melting.
No, he's much older. Dr. Silberman makes an appearance. Now,
I have many
Why?
questions about this actually.
Okay. Well, my first question. This is probably yours too. Why does Dr. Silberman suddenly crop up in the middle of nowhere to talk to Kate Brewster? Did he come in the ambulance or did he come with the SWAT team?
I think I've just bruised my own finger.
It happens all the time.
Look.
Oh yeah.
It's a hard smack.
Why
bruising
is
myself.
Ellie? Why is Dr. Silberman in this clip?
I think because they couldn't get Linda, they were like, what other ugly mother effer can we get in this film? I don't know. They probably...
I know, dude. Don't get me wrong,
Is
and
it a-
listeners, I
Is
understand.
it a trope? I don't know.
Kind of, yeah.
MacGuffin?
I understand that, like, it's a cameo. It's like, oh, it's Dr. Silberman. He didn't believe Sarah Connor in the first Terminator or the second one, to the extent that he put her in a mental institution and was going to keep her there for the rest of her life. Now, I don't know why he's in this. I kind of get it, but I don't. It's cute that he's in it, but
Look at his
how? In what?
south-sloping face.
How is it in service of the story that he's here?
I don't
If we're talking
know.
about story now and not, look, it's a cute cameo by Earl Bowen, the guy that played Dr. Silberman.
Maybe he requested to be in it. Maybe he wanted to be.
Well, no, I mean,
Maybe he was pissed that he wasn't asked to do the second film.
I can't. Volkovich was meant to be in this, Lance Henriksen, so I guess he was busy or didn't want to do it because Jim wasn't involved. I think Lance Henriksen's loyalty to James Cameron, he's like, I'm not going to do this without Jim. Arnold was like, fuck Jim, give me the money. So he collected his nearly $100 million paycheck for this, $29 million, right, up front?
Yeah.
And then he got 40% or 20%?
Royalties and just everything.
20% of the royalties,
It
so he
all- it
made
all
nearly
went to
100,
Arnold, basically.
100 million. So they approached Lance Henriksen to play Volkovich, who was the character in the first Terminator. This is very much like the thing you were talking about, right?
It's like Techno Duck.
It's Craig Safan, Last Starfighter. Is this very close to the French composer you were talking about, though?
No.
Okay.
Sounds like your ass.
Ellie, let's break this film down. Why is Dr. Silberman in this?
I don't know, but that came after my first point.
Okay, what's your first point?
Why is Brewster still coughing and looking like she's about to throw up?
Where has Brewster been prior to being outside?
We've just said about the fact that the smoke didn't actually make them cough that much, and yet this is way after the fact, and she's still coughing. And she was in there the shortest time.
I think it's just an issue of...
She just ran out.
I know. That was the thing in the last episode. Like, John wasn't really that affected.
She's overacting.
Dare you accuse national treasure Claire Danes of overacting? She's a fine actress. She's been in
She's an
Homeland.
actress. She's not fine.
She's been in Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, and she's obviously in Terminator 2.
Why did they pick her to be Juliet?
Because I guess she was a good actress.
I don't know.
Although,
the fluffy,
yeah,
mousy brown hair. I was just
She's
like,
not no oil painting. But then I would argue, why pick Leonardo DiCaprio for Romeo and Juliet?
I didn't really rate him in that film. I don't rate young Leonardo DiCaprio. I feel like he's got better as he's got older. Catch Me While You Can. That was a really good film.
Was he miscast in that, though? Was he still too
No.
young? I still think he looks too young looking for many of the things he's in. His facial dimensions
I thought he was great in that.
don't lend him to manly roles. He hasn't got like a
He was so good in Django.
good Django.
I love that film. I'd literally seen that film, and it's not even been out that long. Probably about 20 times.
Why?
I just loved it. I loved it so much. The soundtrack was great. The
Dr.
story
Schultz,
was
the
great.
Dentist.
He was okay.
He won an Oscar.
I know you're gonna think I'm weird, but he is so fit, man.
Christoph Waltz.
Yes.
Christoph Waltz in every film, or just Django?
Just Django.
Why just Django?
I don't know.
Because he's covering his face with the beard and long hair
Maybe.
and a hat.
He's
at
kind
a
of got the
jaunty
Sam
angle.
Elliott look going.
I wouldn't go that far.
I
Sam
know.
Elliott's
Really sexy.
legit sexy
Yeah, he
for an
is.
old man.
So is.
Christoph Waltz.
Are you
isn't.
gonna look like
Why
Sam
haven't you?
Elliott?
All right. Why haven't you watched Spectre then? Because he's the baddie from the new James Bond film.
Because I don't like the new James Bonds.
Have you seen them?
I saw the first two. Casino Royale was great.
Why was it great?
Because I really enjoyed it. I thought Daniel Craig did. I thought the storyline was good. Eva Green was in it, and she's fit. Daniel Craig, I thought, played a really good part. The bin at the beginning, the Italian woman, she was so hot.
The one at the beginning.
Yeah, you know when they go to the casino and there's like the big rich
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of.
she didn't.
Oh, dude, she was so hot.
Okay.
How How can you not think she's hot?
Okay.
I just thought it was a really good
What
story.
did Quantum of Solace lack for you?
Oh God, a storyline.
Really?
Yes.
I think
Olga, she's really hot. She was in.
I think Quantum gets unfairly lambasted.
I think there was just too many explosions, too many. It was just too. Don't get me wrong, I love action. It revs my engine.
If you watch it directly after Casino Royale, because it's a direct sequel that happens within minutes of Casino Royale ending, if you watch them back to back, it's like one giant 3 or 4 hour film. It's good.
I don't know. I'm willing to commit.
3's good. Spectre's not so good.
See,
Spectre's very boring.
My mum and dad
How you
said that
mess
the
up
last
James
one,
Bond versus the
Spectre-
Illuminati was.
they said they really enjoyed it.
It's not a bad film. It's just very slow and nothing really much happens in
I'd
it.
rather watch the Bourne trilogy, or I can't believe I'm going to say this, Mission Impossible now.
Well, Mission Impossible, I think, is doing Bond better than Bond does Bond, don't
Yeah.
they?
Definitely.
For somebody who hates Tom Cruise, you
I
were
know.
well on board for those Mission Impossible films.
They were good. Well, I think the third one is the best one. Actually, I've not even seen the second one. I thought the third one was the best one, then the last one, then the fourth one, and then the first one.
3541. I'm a big boy. I can count.
That was really impressive for a
Thank you.
dyslexic bummer. I think that's my new favourite pet name for you. Back to Silberman. Yeah, I don't know. And also, my question was, first of all, has he had a stroke? Second of all, he looks terrible. Do you reckon it's his experience that's made him look so bad? In the
Well,
film?
obviously he's an older man. This is almost 30.
Yeah, but
Actually, no,
dude,
it's not.
It's his. You know when old people, like the face, like is it the bone structure that
He
changes?
could be a
like the teeth?
smoker.
His mouth is just slowly just going.
Yeah. But that happens. That's called old age.
Jesus. I mean, yeah, but look at that.
He still looks recognisably him. This is only like...
Yeah, I can recognise
I
him.
think-
You'd have to really go some to not.
No, but this is 19 years after the first Terminator. So, I mean, it's only 20 years. He still looks like himself.
Do you not think
My
he's-
question again is, why is he in this story? I get why it's a cameo and it's cool, but they could have worked him in perhaps a different way, because he just turns up. Has he come in the ambulance or has he come with the SWAT team? It
Maybe
makes
it's
no
to
sense
make
that he come
original
with either.
fans feel more comfortable. It's a familiar face. Just brings it round. I mean, there's obviously a lot of different stuff. There's lots of different characters. We don't really recognise any of them apart from Arnold. Maybe that's what it is. There's not enough familiar faces in this film.
I recognise someone. Are
Are you going to enlighten us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you're a film fan, you won't know this guy's name, but you recognise him. And as I said, this cameo, better than Silberman's in a way, because it connects us in a quite meta way to the Cameron universe again. The guy that plays the SWAT team leader is Matt Gerald, and he's in Avatar.
Yeah, but that's not from Terminator, though.
No, but he's in this. He's the SWAT team leader in Terminator 3. Not directed by Cameron, but he crops up in Avatar as like
Which was
this,
directed by Cameron.
the mean-spirited Marine who gets
On point.
squished, I think, by not a Thanator.
See what the director.
It's the big rhino-looking thing. He gets crushed by one of those. He's in an amp suit and he gets stamped on. But yeah, he always plays some kind of like douchey kind of character.
When's that going to come back on at the IMAX? I've only ever seen Avatar once.
I think Avatar 2 now has been pushed back, and I see like on all the forums people are kind of shitting on it, but Avatar's amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing, but I've only ever seen it on a computer.
Well, usually people that in the comment sections of most forums kind of shit on it didn't see it in IMAX 3D. And you have to bear in mind, listeners, a lot of IMAX theatres aren't real IMAX.
They're Limax.
They are. I think there's only about 2 or 3 actually in England, especially where if
I
you.
thought there was only one in London.
I think
Victoria.
there's another one up north somewhere, but I spoke to Marco about it, and my friend Marco, who directed the film Arthur and Merlin: The Legend Begins, which came out last year. He said he thinks there's one in Sheffield, but he can't be sure. He's never been to the one in London Waterloo. That's the only one
That's where you filmed the film. Sheffield.
Yeah. Most major cities have IMAX theatres, even in the US and around the world, but they don't conform to the actual dimensions of a proper IMAX. If you saw a film in IMAX in Waterloo, London, you'd see the difference.
It would knock your socks off.
I saw Avatar there, and it was literally because this screen was like nearly 100 feet high and slightly curved. You
Who did you
almost
see
like
it with?
the inside of a ball. and because it was amazing 3D and it was made for 3D. In my opinion, the only 3D film that's ever really been successful, because it wasn't done post-conversion like Clash of the Titans, which had kind of like ghosting of the image on the screen. It looked terrible.
I found that with the Hobbit films, actually. You just get this double line on everything.
Yeah, which weirdly, because that was apparently made for 3D.
Yeah,
I think
but it's
Avatar
shit.
was successful because it was mostly animated.
I've never watched a film in 3D and thought that was really, really good.
And it looks really animated.
And I hate the glasses. When I come out, I've got like an abrasion on my nose. I'm constantly have to readjust them, and I'm so aware that I've got something on my face. I hate it. Don't like it. Anyway.
Matt Gerald is in Terminator 3. This is the guy from Avatar who plays the SWAT team leader. He has the only speaking part really before Arnold breaks out of the stained glass window of the mausoleum.
Put the gun down and the coffin.
He's obviously in Avatar. He's in Escape Plan, the Schwarzenegger-Stallone crossover movie. He's in San Andreas with The Rock. So yeah, he's played Havoc in G.I. Joe Retaliation, so he plays lots of military types and kind of like paramilitary types, cops and things. But
You're a cop.
You're a cop. Yes,
OCP.
I am a cop. OCP runs the cops. You're a cop.
Yes. So something I didn't like about Silberman's little inclusion. How patronising is he when he first? Hi, Kate. I'm Dr. Silberman.
Well, I think he's talking about himself, isn't he?
No, but the way he talks to her, it's like he's speaking to like a spastic child.
Yeah, but that's true to his character because he's patronising to Sarah in the second one.
Yeah, but that's because Sarah's mental.
No.
She's not. Well, no, he thinks that he speaks to Sarah like that because he thinks that she's got a screw loose. And
But-
that ideally is like a spastic
Yeah,
child.
but do you not think he's always trying to like recruit people into his hospital so he can win this like
He needs to recruit himself.
psychology award? Because this is what he's trying to do with her, isn't he? He's like, "You okay? Oh," but then he kind of like
I've been in a hostage situation.
exactly.
Yeah.
He touches on his own kind of.
But this is the thing. This is my next question. Does he believe that what happened to him is real? Because at first you kind of get the idea that he's like, when we go through these things, we imagine that we see things, weird things, unbelievable things. And then he does that kind of like reminiscing, looking off into the distance that he's kind of thinking back and his kind of flashbacks. And then just kind of
the
goes,
two things wrong with it essentially because
things
he's
that
like
haunt you.
he's really overplaying this in a sense, isn't he? Because they're harking back to that film, but it's also done kind of for laughs.
Say
Because,
it however you
obviously he
want
sees the Terminator in about 20 seconds' time and then goes, and runs off.
it. His run is amazing.
So, is it like Tom Cruise's run?
Nothing is like
Which
Tom
is very
Cruise's run.
direct, or is it Steven Seagal's run? Which is like, if you want to do a Steven Seagal, listeners, run, and you're at home, you don't even have to stand up for this. Literally just straighten yourself in your chair and you put your arms out as if you're carrying two trays, but you attach your arm at an elbow to the side of your body. And then you just do this with your arms. You just
Kind of makes me think
propel
of
your arms.
Team America.
If
Or
you
like
wa-
Stingray.
If you watch Seagal run in all of his films, he does that.
Yeah, but at least he's not running away from his sexuality. Like
He looks
Tom
like a
Cruise.
cerebral palsy person who's in the middle of drowning.
We love you, Seagal. Still can't believe Kelly Brock married him, man.
I know. I still can't believe my friend Kurt Barker was in
And
a film with
didn't
Kelly and
tell
didn't
you.
tell me.
That was on purpose.
And now he's in a film with Denise Richards and didn't tell me.
Denise, is she still decent looking? I bet she is.
She's okay.
Mate, she's hot.
She was married to Charlie Sheen though. That'll suck the life out of you. She looks like now she looks.
Although actually, no, Charlie Sheen does entertain me.
Now
He's
she looks like her friend Patrick Muldoon from Starship Troopers after the point where he had his brain sucked out and the flesh was sucked onto his face. I'm just kidding, Denise. We love you. Say hi to Kirk for me.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, he's in a film
Kirk's
called.
in another film.
He's in a film called Altitude with Dolph Lundgren and Denise Richards. They're all trapped on a plane. His friend directed it. He did this like teen drama called.
How does Kirk get all these parts?
He doesn't. He just knows the guy that was directing the film. He's in LA at the right time, I assume. Well done, Kirk. Give Denise my love. Yeah, so it's called Altitude. It's not out yet, but it's on IMDb. Check it out. I'm assuming it's not going to go to the cinema, but what do I know? It probably will because I'm not in it.
So do we think that he believes that it's a Terminator?
No. I think even though he saw the T-1000 merge through the gates, I think in his mind he's such a jackass up his own backside. I think he kind of talked himself out of what he saw.
Like therapied himself.
Yeah. But then when he re-sees the Terminator, I think that wall comes crashing down.
Sorry.
And yeah, that's what I think.
That's Ethan's 2 cents.
Well, yeah, because I think obviously he's very blinkered. It looks he's like he's forgotten all that's happened to him. Then he sees the Terminator again. He goes, "Oh, I've been lying to myself for like 10 years." Then he runs off again.
Are they looking through the ambulance?
But yeah, it's quite a measured and slow run, isn't it?
Are they looking through the ambulance?
Yeah.
Surely it'd just be better to just kind of step at the side and look. Why
Yeah.
would you look through a car? That's weird. I do love the fact that Arnold comes out carrying a coffin on his shoulder.
I think it's the same
However,
coffin.
It looks a slightly different colour to me, but this comes to another question I have. If that is the same coffin and it's full of guns and ammunition and kind of explosives, with all those bullets hitting it, would that coffin not explode?
That's a great question.
Thank you. It would, right? That thing would go poof,
I don't know if it penetrated the coffin.
or poof.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough grenades and stuff in there. I can only assume, to be an apologist of the film, that Sarah set it up that the coffin was somehow insulated or protected or
But it's not, 'cause
etc.
you see bullet holes go into it.
Yeah, but the case within the case, it might have been like reinforced. I don't know.
Felt.
It's a yeah.
Yeah, because that's bulletproof.
Felt is bulletproof. Google it.
Is it actually?
No, but your little face went huh?
It's
for
'cause
half a
It's
second.
because I'm the most gullible person for 0.3 of a second.
Don't be such a gullible.
Gullible boy. Yeah. What else have I got on in my notes? Exploding, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, this is something I was trying to look up on the internet. I've probably just imagined it because most of my thoughts are from dream world. I swear there's like some law that you can't open fire on like sacred ground or like in a graveyard or a cemetery.
Well, you Google it and you couldn't find anything, could you?
No.
I don't think angels can fight. Dark and light angels can do battle on holy ground, and I know Highlanders can't do battle on holy ground. That's
Maybe
why.
That's where it's coming from.
That's why MacLeod and the Kurgan met each other in a church.
MacLeod.
No, it's Clancy Butler. Who is it? Clancy, yeah, Clancy Brown. Sorry,
Clancy!
who meets Christophe Lambert.
Goes, the quickening. Happy Halloween, ladies.
I do love it when you do that.
Ramirez. I cut off his head and I raped his woman. So she was your woman. Maybe she secretly yearned for my return.
Can I upload the video I just made of you to the page, please?
Sure, why not?
So entertaining. Let's make that go viral.
When the Terminator exits the mausoleum, this is a bit of a trivia / cock up for you.
Cock up.
Bing!
And trivia.
We said this in the last episode, but as the Terminator's turning and the coffin's being shot to pieces on his shoulder, Arnold seriously injured his hand because one of the squibs representing the bullet hits that exploded on the coffin was too close to his hand.
Oh no. This is terrible news. Are there any more cock-ups?
There are, but
Oh
we
my
had them in the
God.
last episode.
Wait.
It's a great film, The Last Starfighter, Ellie. Really is a good film.
The music's just
In
hilarious.
fact, the old man from RoboCop, Dan Hurley, who plays the boss,
Yeah.
Dick, you're fired!
he plays a reptilian
Thank you.
alien co-pilot in it.
Oh my god.
You know what you need to watch as well? I forgot. Speaking of reptilian aliens, Lou Gossett Jr. from Officer and Gentleman. Have you seen that?
No.
You need to see that. He played the mean but lovable, soft on the inside drill sergeant.
That's like you.
Yeah.
Maybe the old you.
Mayonnaise! Because his name's Zach Mayo, so he calls him Mayonnaise. Always trying to provoke him, and then he has this big fight with Richard Gere at the end of the film.
Question. Do you like mayonnaise?
No.
I don't.
I
It's
used
like
to
the
like
most
it.
overrated condiment
I used to
ever.
like it when I had tuna sandwiches. I used to eat tuna sandwiches all the time and I worked out.
Same. I still
But
choose
now I
that.
can't. Yeah, I just
I prefer salad cream.
No, because that's.
No, I said I prefer salad cream.
Oh no, I prefer mayonnaise to salad
Oh,
cream.
God, no.
You can't dip chips
No.
into. I went for a phase of putting chips in mayonnaise as well. I went for very French.
You look it. Loads of people have chips and mayonnaise.
They do.
Yeah.
But I prefer ketchup.
I like curry sauce. Actually, I don't even eat
Curry
chips.
sauce is
what am I
badass.
talking
Yeah,
about?
if you're in America, sorry,
Sweet
you
potato
will never
fries.
know what this feeling is. But
Oh,
chip shop curry sauce.
sauce, man. I'd never delighted.
And here,
until you
the one
introduced it to me.
nearest to you, they did the best curry sauce. It's like a lighter brown. It's really thick. Whereas the one near the station, it's really runny and rubbish. The one by Red
What's that?
Hill.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. What's that? Really? No,
No,
it's too thin.
Um,
What was I saying? Craig Safan, last Starfighter. Oh, yeah. Speaking of reptilian aliens, Lou Gossett Jr., who played the drill sergeant in Officer and a Gentleman, and he's in Iron Eagle, and he plays Calvin Blouchard in
Who does he play?
Jaws 3. Calvin Blouchard. He is in a film called Enemy Mine with Dennis Quaid. You like him from Inner Space and
Yep.
Dragonheart. Well, he plays this space pilot in a film called Enemy Mine. They're having a space battle with these things called the Drax, who are kind of reptilian aliens. And they both get shot down at the same time. Their ships collide and they go down on this desolate planet. No one comes looking for them. So they basically have to like work together, mortal enemies, or die on this planet. So it's like Robinson Crusoe. And it's about friendship, acceptance, love, living on an alien planet. Don't drink that water because it's green. That kind of thing.
Don't eat yellow snow.
It's a good film. Wolfgang Peterson directed it. It's from
Oh.
1984, and he did The Neverending
I was
Story.
going to say, I know who
He
that
did In the
is.
Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood. Have you seen
Not
that?
seen that,
Oh,
no.
dude. That's where I get my Rocky walk from. John Malkovich does it.
I prefer your Patterson
My
Gimli.
scary rock before I come running at you.
Oh, no, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But no, for me, you're just Bigfoot, man.
Stole that from John Malkovich.
It's
Thanks,
big-
John.
It's Bigfoot. It is. It's really... Dude, you... I reckon that you're probably a descendant.
You have any more
Hey.
points?
Yes, many points. He asked to see my points. This is it for Terminator for me, but that's 26 minutes. That's good. But can you please enlighten the listeners as to Split Second?
Oh, we watched a film called Split Second. We didn't watch it all in one go.
I kind of liked the way we eked it out, though.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like we went along the journey with Rutger Hauer.
I don't know. I think it's actually... It's watchable. It's got an
I
interesting
weirdly
look.
enjoyed it. It's again, like you said the other
I
day,
will
it's
link-
so shit. It's quite good.
Yeah, if you listen to this, we're on episode 28. I will link in the show notes underneath the show, and you can get to it on the YouTube channel, or you can get to us on
Plus, you
the
get-
Facebook page. We'll link the show, the entire film, Split Second. Rutger Hauer, Alistair McGowan, who plays his crazy partner,
Don't
Dick
ask
Durkin,
Dick Durkin, which sounds like Dick Diggler.
and Kim Cattrall's in it.
You get to see Kim Cattrall's bosoms in the shower.
That's not really a thing, though, because you see them in everything that she's
Yeah,
in.
but so it was a
Think
highlight for
do
me.
you think she's a good-looking lady?
It's weird with Kim. I think she's got more of a sexual presence as opposed to aesthetically sexual, but she does have great tits.
Whoa.
I just reckon she'd be a great...
Really?
Yeah.
She's really hot as Lassie and Porky's.
Porky's. Oh, yeah, but I don't know. Is she?
Porky,
'Cause she's
the
just
voice
going,
of Angel Beats you here.
I don't know.
Well, that's good, no?
I thought she was... no.
Oh.
She's yelping like a dog. Silence that sow! I thought she was hot in a Mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mannequin on the Move. You've not seen that, have you? That's Christy Swanson, I think.
No. Hollywood!
Hollywood.
But yes, that's everything I've got on this particular 2 minutes. Have you
Well,
got
hang
anything else
on.
to
What
add,
did
Ethan?
you think about Split Second? Because I thought the
I
only
just
thing,
said I enjoyed it.
the end, like it was all build up to meet this thing.
It looked like aliens, you know.
It looks like Venom, really, from the Marvel
That's what I
comics.
said!
Yeah.
I was amazed at myself.
But it's a British sci-fi film, and it's kind of got this like very British 80s English TV drama
Well,
look.
it's
So
set,
it looks
it's
really,
set in London, isn't it?
but it's not exotic looking, and everything seems to be lit with like these super hot above lights, and everything's grey. But I don't know, it's a very plain looking film in a sense.
Grey dreams.
But again, it's a kind of unique looking film. Rutger Hauer's in it. He'll do anything for like $10. I don't know how I feel about it. It keeps you watching it. It's interesting. Alan Armstrong's in it. Who plays the
I just
chief
kept- I
police?
just kept
Chief
finding
police.
it
Pete
really-
Postlethwaite's in it.
I just kept finding it really funny. It was hilarious. Like when they'd burst into a room, they just looked so clumsy.
I think that's meant to kind of be more the comic booky aspect of it. Him and his partner are like
Or
mismatched.
Good cop, bad cop. But they're not really good cop, bad cop. It's more like nuts cop and neat cop. Although he turns a corner very quickly. All of a sudden, he goes mental, knows everything about black magic.
Well, he finally sees the creature, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And they switch places. He becomes the more kind of like cautious one, and he becomes like the crazy.
I'm just a big fan of Rutger Hauer. I know he's been in mostly shit films, but I just think he's great.
Oh, he is great.
Big fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Actually,
think
I'm surprised you haven't final pictured Rutger Hauer.
they shot the alien to pieces, didn't they?
To pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the end was like really didn't have any tension at all, did it?
No, yeah, it was over very quickly. And considering
And they shot it. The gun's really fake.
Considering it's a thing of
He was like, "Hit the electricity!" Don't want to ruin it for you. And he just jumps up, and then giant swathes of time happen before he actually hits the electricity, doesn't he? It should have been like bang, bang,
Kim
bang, bang.
Cattrall just chucks the gun into the water, which probably would have rendered it useless, and then they pick the gun back up again, and it works.
And hiding the monster, I guess, is wise, but they just showed like
Its feet and stuff.
its feet and face all the time, and the rubbery face with the fake drool in the mouth and stuff.
See, I always prefer it when you don't see stuff in films, because I think that the imagination.
I think
is
you
way
need to
more
see something
powerful.
like that, but I just think they shot it really badly. But what do I know?
And the suggestion at the end that it wasn't actually dead because you saw the booblers coming up from the water.
Yeah, not Kim's water booblers.
Oh, and on that jovial note.
On that jovial note, we shall return with episode 29, which hopefully will be on probably Thursday, because Ellie's maybe having Wednesday night off.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, you can either do a podcast over Skype with me, or have that face again.
Anyway. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening.
Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. We'll be back.
Go to Ethan's questionable website and listen to his
Questionable website.
his real podcast, and listen to his Graham Plowman guest speak thing.
His guest speak thing.
His guest speak thing. His podcast. It's great. Graham Plowman is a very talented man. He did the music for Arthur and Merlin, and it was probably, apart from Ethan, the best part of the film.
Thank you.
Although you weren't in it nearly enough.
I know.
Too good looking.
Too good looking. So let's hope we're having a sequel. But who
No,
knows?
we are having a sequel.
Yeah, I want a sequel just for another soundtrack. I think if you
Can you at least get some boobs in it as well?
it's family entertainment.
There were no titties in that film.
know,
I was really disappointed.
I know.
I was like, it's like a period film. Come on, everyone had their tits out in those days. Anyway,
Yeah, thank you for listening. We'll be back with episode 29, hopefully within the next day or two. If we do miss a day this week, listeners, I do apologise. They don't come every day, sadly, because of conflicting schedules, but we do get
are
5
you
or
working this week?
Saturday. We do
Oh.
get 5 or 6 out per week, so you will have that to count on. I'd like to
Don't worry,
welcome
John.
welcome some of the listeners of Star Wars Minute who've joined us this week.
Yay!
Hi guys, welcome.
Welcome.
I hope you're enjoying the show. Yeah, and we'll be back. I really like this episode.
Does
Ellie.
that mean I have to stop
It's quite good.
slating Star Wars?
No.
I don't have to stop slating it.
Well, you appreciate it for its place in film history.
I do, and I thought the third film was the most enjoyable.
A lot of people on Star Wars Minute have said that.
Really?
I don't know, it's not my Star Wars anymore. I didn't really connect with The Force Awakens, sadly. Having said that, I think you will, because you're not like so attached to it. It's not
Yeah, but just think about who I am, Ethan.
who I are. No, that's Timbaland. Why I am.
How do you know
Why
that?
I laugh. Who I are. Is that
How
it?
do you know that?
Why would I know that?
Because you're a neek.
Dude, I know a bit of hibbity hop.
Have you ever heard of the Emancipation Proclamation? I don't listen to hip hop. Look at your little face.
Oh my. Yeah, we'll
Anyway.
be back. And thank you for listening. Welcome new listeners, and hello again to old ones. Nichols, I should be Nipples, John Nipples. I'll be back in my hood
Nipples!
this week, hopefully. Yeah,
Spoiled no right to us.
I've got gas. Sorry.
It's all that deep throating the mic from earlier. Hasta la vista.
Baby.
What Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines. They will rule the world. I'll be back.